So you've done all the work. You've got great photos. You've listed every single amenity, but your calendar is still looking, well, a little too open. What gives? The truth is, a listing that feels complete isn't the same thing as a listing that's compelling. So, how do you turn those endless scrolls into actual bookings? That's exactly what we're going to break down right now.
See, a strong listing isn't just a data dump of features. You got to think of it as your most important sales tool. Its real job is to guide your ideal guest from, maybe, to, yup, booked, in the shortest time possible and with total confidence.
So here it is, the first and most crucial mindset shift, especially if you're just starting out with your first property. Your listing? It is not just a description page. It is a positioning tool. Its entire job is to help a potential guest make a decision, fast, and feel really good about it. To do that, we're going to look at everything through what I like to call the listing conversion lens. It really just boils down to 4 simple questions your listing has to answer. And here's the key. The clearer your answers, the stronger your listing, and the quicker your ideal guest is going to hit that book button. Here's a little secret for you. The biggest mistake that new hosts make is trying to sound impressive instead of just being useful. They use these big, empty words like amazing, perfect, or unforgettable. But honestly, those words are conversion killers because they're subjective and they don't give the guest any real information.
Now, what's really interesting here is the difference in certainty. A beautiful stay, well, that's anyone's guess, right? But a calm 1-bedroom near the business district, that instantly signals to a solo traveler or someone on a work trip, hey, this is for me. It doesn't just describe, it qualifies. And that clarity, that's what builds immediate trust.
Okay, so let's get into the practical side of this. We're going to focus on the 2 most critical pieces of text you'll write, your title and your description. This is where you really guide the guest from just being curious to feeling confident enough to book.
Think of your title as your first handshake. Its only job is to get the right person to stop scrolling. You're not trying to say everything, just the one thing that matters most. Is it a work-friendly studio near city center, or is it a private family villa with pool? Titles like these, they act like a filter. They help your ideal guest find you and say, that's what I'm looking for.
So once they click, your description needs to feel like a structured tour, not just a random list of stuff you have. This flow, it answers their questions in a useful, logical order, building on that initial spark of interest. Remember, the goal isn't to write more, it's to write more usefully. Okay, so we've got a strong title, we have a structured description. Now let's take this a step further with the power of positioning. This is where you stop just describing your space and you start speaking directly to your ideal guest. Let's look at how one single property can be perfectly framed for 3 totally different travelers. First up, let's say your perfect guest is someone traveling for work. You wouldn't just list the beds and bathrooms. No way. You'd position the entire property for their specific needs. So what does this person need? It's not just Wi-Fi, it's reliable, high-speed Wi-Fi for that important video call. It's not just a table, it's a dedicated workspace so they can actually be productive. It's a super easy check-in after a long flight. When you highlight these specific solutions, that business traveler feels seen and understood. It just becomes an instant, logical choice for them. Now, what if that exact same apartment is for a couple on a getaway? Well, the focus shifts completely. Here, you're not selling convenience, you're selling an experience. You'd focus on the comfort and atmosphere, that cozy sofa for a quiet night in. You'd emphasize the privacy that makes it feel like a real escape. And you'd highlight how close it is to those amazing restaurants they've been dying to try. See? Same apartment, totally different story, because you're connecting to a totally different motivation. And finally, let's imagine you're trying to attract a small family. Their priorities? Well, they're completely different once again. For them, the checklist is all about reducing stress. It's about practical things that bring peace of mind. Stuff like sleeping flexibility. Maybe you have a crib or a pull-out sofa so everyone can actually get a good night's sleep. It's about a useful kitchen that saves them from having to eat out for every single meal. When your listing addresses these needs directly, you're not just offering a space, you're offering an easier, better vacation. Now this brings us to a crucial point. Your listing has to be honest. The goal isn't just to get the booking, it's to deliver a great stay. If you oversell the property and create expectations you can't meet, you are setting yourself up for disappointment and, a bad review. Trust is your most valuable asset here. And this is where all that strategic work really pays off. A clear, honest, well-positioned listing doesn't just help your booking rate, it improves your entire business from the ground up. It all starts here, with a crystal clear listing that effortlessly communicates your property's real value.
Because your message is so clear and so targeted, it acts like a magnet. It doesn't just attract more guests, it attracts the right guests, the people who are going to truly love what you offer.
And those guests, they arrive with accurate expectations. That means less confusion, fewer issues during the stay, and a much smoother experience for everybody involved. And the end result of that? A smoother stay where expectations are perfectly met, or maybe even exceeded. Well, that naturally leads to stronger, more positive reviews, which just fuels your future success. It creates this powerful, self-sustaining cycle. So, if we boil this whole explainer down to one main idea, it's this. A great listing isn't really about attractive writing. It's about making the value of the stay incredibly easy to understand for the right person. In this business, clarity is what drives conversion.
So before you go, read your own listing as if you were a guest and ask yourself this one question. Does this listing actually help me decide, or is it just describing a space? Answering that honestly can improve your business starting today.